I'm Kurt Walker. I am the second and third grade teacher. My wife's name is Jessie Walker. We have Jackson, he's 5 years old. He's our son. He's going to be in kindergarten here. And we have Madeline, she's 2 years old.
Okay. So my name is Rita Ramos. I teach pre-K 3s now at CrossLife Academy. I am married 21 years. I have a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old, 2 girls who are both now in college. I come from a small town in Texas girl, born and raised.
I took a very long road to teaching. Initially I was studying criminology, kind of throwing around ideas of being a police officer or a juvenile corrections officer. Eventually I landed on being a history teacher for high school level. After all that wrapped up, when I got an email out of the blue from Hannah Lightnin over at Holy Word just saying, have you ever thought about kindergarten? And thinking that high school history is what I wanted to teach, that was a big shock. But having a son about that age at the time, and knowing how much I love just seeing how he approaches life, and I was sold, and things got going. I started working on my ministry certification, and I could honestly say last year teaching kindergarten at Holy Word was the best professional year of my life. I absolutely loved it. I love what I do. I love the younger kids.
From my oldest daughter, who is now 20. She was premature, then was diagnosed with autism. And so I was a stay-at-home mom at the time. And so I just dove in and started researching. I had to find different ways to help her. So I was a stay-at-home mom with her, and then her younger sister. And then a friend said, "Oh, come to our preschool. We need volunteers and substitutes." I'm like, "Sure, I love that. I love children," and it just snowballed from there. And that's almost 12 years now.
I jumped around from things I wanted to be when I grew up, but the one thing I knew I always wanted to be was a father. So I've always loved just kids, just being around kids. I take a lot of joy in just seeing how my dad was, and my grandparents. They're a big inspiration to me. And I also did have a teacher that was an inspiration to me. My 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Johnson. Although we didn't quite get along, I was kind of a rascal.
I actually grew up with my grandparents, and my grandmother from very early age was all about us going to church. So I've always had God on my heart and on my mind, and He's been with me through all my life, never let me down. Even when I think He's there.
You'll find God in everything. Math, you'll find the order He made the universe in. In science, all the little mysteries He gave us to unfold. And social studies, how we relate to each other. God's in all of that. NASA space program, it's just something that intrigues me and kind of gets me going, just dreaming of what's possible, and like God's creation. That's kind of my inspiration for making it my classroom. I kind of want to create that same sense of wonder and sense of there's bigger things out there than just our little corner of the world, and we can go find it, but we got to know how by reading and writing and science and math and everything. It's all connected, and it all leads back to God, but it's just our little gateway into it in the classroom.
I'm excited about meeting the children and learning about them, and meeting the parents, and instilling God's love. I'm really big on showing God's love in the classroom, and I use that as a motivation for the children as well. That's my main purpose, is to share God's love.